Hey guys, welcome to another video from the Education App Guru website. Today I have an app review for you. We're going to look at DragonBox Algebra 5 Plus, which, believe it or not, is going to teach simple algebra equations to lower elementary kids. This app is aimed for 6 through 8-year-olds, which would be about 1st grade through 3rd grade. I have the app description here from the App Store. You can see the ages that it's made for underneath the app name, and in the description here you can see that its goal is to secretly teach algebra, and it does it in a game format, something that the kids would want to play. And in their description, that they say they have kids as young as 5 be able to play through this game. It's going to start off simple, but you can see in this screenshot here, it does get into equations that really do look like algebra equations. Now I know that you can't see the price there, it just says open. That's because I already have it installed on my iPad. But I have the list of apps from this particular developer, and you can see in this list that it is $2.99. It'll work on your iPad or your iPhone, and there's no in-app purchases after that, so that's the final price that you would have to pay. And it has some great reviews, average of 4.5 stars, which is really, really good. So let's go ahead and open up this app. Again, I already have it installed, and we'll just look at a few levels together so you can get an idea of what the app would be like to use in your classroom. So they have you choose a little avatar. I've already chosen one. They're little monster-looking kind of characters, and you can choose the level that you go through, and in each of the levels the goal is to complete the level and get 3 stars. It's a very similar setup to a game like Angry Birds or Cut the Rope, something that your kids would be very familiar with. So in the very first level, they're just going to teach the kids the basic setup for the game, the basic concept that there's 2 sides and one item, in this case a box, that you want to get all by itself on one side. That's how you complete the level. So later, they'll learn that relates to algebra equations that have 2 sides to the equation with the equal sign in the middle, and there's always one thing in that equation, usually an x, but it could be something else that you're trying to get by itself, that you're trying to solve for. In the next level, they introduce new types of cards. These little green galaxy cards are sort of like zeros in an algebra equation. They don't have any value. You can tap on them and they can just go away. Now in this 4th level, they start to introduce some different cards, different shapes on these cards. I don't have a galaxy card yet that I can just disappear, but they give us the concept that each card has its opposite. They call it a knight card, and in algebra this is going to relate to the fact that each mathematical operation like addition has an opposite operation like subtraction that can cancel it out down to these 0 cards that are then allowed to go away. Each time they introduce a new concept like that, they take a few levels to kind of cement it in. So we're going to go ahead and exit out and jump ahead a little bit so you don't get too bored. I'm going to jump ahead to level 9. This is where they start introducing the concept that you're allowed to add your own cards into the 2 sides of the level here, the 2 sides of the equation if it were algebra. In this case, we only have 1 card as an option to add, and it's telling us that whenever we add a card, we have to add it to both sides of the equation. You can't finish the level if you only add a card to one side of the equation. Just like in algebra, where if you do something to one side, like you add a number to one side, you have to add it to the other side in order to keep everything equal. I'm going to go ahead and jump out to the level list again, go ahead to level 12, and you can see that pretty quickly here, just halfway through the first chapter, they're starting to replace these little picture cards with some letters and numbers. And when they start to introduce the letters and numbers, instead of having the opposite color, they have the opposite sign here. So the positive A can be canceled out by a negative A, which is going to look real familiar later when they start adding and subtracting numbers and letters. They cancel out down to the 0, which again can disappear, and we've solved the level. I'll go out one more time, skip ahead a little bit farther to level 15. here we have a fish card that we have the option to add, but I don't want the fish card just like it is to put on the two sides of the equation yet, because I need to cancel out this fish card that's here already. I need the opposite color, so you can tap on a card to get its opposite color so that you're adding the right card to each side. Now I can cancel out the fish, get rid of the 0, and the box is by itself. But you'll notice when they tally up my score for this level, there were 2 cards over on the left side that they called useless. So I didn't have the right number of cards. I should have canceled them out, and I don't get 3 stars for the level. I can repeat the level to try to get those 3 stars by tapping on the little rewind arrows in the upper right corner. This is teaching them the algebra concept that you need to make your equations as simple as possible. So just getting the box by itself isn't going to be enough. If you can do something on the other side to combine like terms to simplify your equation, then you're supposed to do it. And that gets us the 3 stars. In the next level, we're going to start to have more options of things that we can add into our equation here. And we don't need all of these options, so the kids have to start figuring out what it is that they need to get the box by itself, to cancel out the cards and get the box by itself. In this case, I need this card here. I need it to be the opposite color, so I turn it around and add it to both sides. And I can see once I've added it to both sides that I can cancel it out on both sides by combining the 2 knight cards. Cancel out the zeros, and we've completed the level. And I'll just show you one more level before we stop today. I'm going to skip ahead to level 18. The last concept they introduced in this first chapter is that they replace the box that we were solving for with an X to solve for, which again is the normal kind of letter that we solve for in an algebra equation. And we can see that it's the one we're supposed to solve for because it has little fairy dust floating around it. So we're not confused about what we're supposed to do. So we add the little fly to both sides, cancel it out, get the X by itself this time, and we've completed the level. So again, I know that was fast, but I just wanted to give you a quick idea of what it would be like to play through the app. And again, if we go back to the description here, it does eventually get to some real equations that really look like algebra. Here, I'll show you again the other apps that are available from this developer. They have a more advanced app, DragonBox Algebra 12 Plus, that's aimed for upper elementary to probably middle school kids. It's going to get into some more advanced algebra concepts and advanced equations, which again, even in upper elementary and middle school, they would be doing these equations long before they would traditionally learn them in the math class. There's another one for learning geometry concepts through a game. And if you're interested in these apps but you're not quite sure yet if it's something that you can use in class, they do have this light version that says they have 1 chapter of levels totally free that you could go through. You could play through yourself. See, I'm not sure the grade level for this free app, but just something for you to test out, see if it's what you could use in your classroom. This last app from the developer is an EDU version. It says it's a school edition, but even though the app is technically free, you do have to have an EDU services subscription from their website, which does cost money. And I believe it's aimed more at maybe classrooms that have iPads at every desk, iPads for every student, which I know it might not be the case for all of you. So I would suggest starting off with some of these other apps first. Alright, that's all for this app review of DragonBox Algebra 5 Plus. I hope you enjoyed it. You can check out more app reviews and video tutorials on my website, edappguru.com, or on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.